Hi, I'm Michael Watson. I'm self-employed.
My name's Eric Peterson. I'm a business owner.
Hello, my name is Denise Cordero. I'm a Metro bus operator.
Okay, hi, I'm Linda Perry. I'm a nurse practitioner.
My name is Mary Coleman. I'm a mail carrier for 24 years, and the circumstances that brought me here is I entered into an interest-only loan, and I took out a first and a second interest-only. And what happened is my loan adjusted, and it became too much for me to pay. So I decided to come down and see if I can get some help.
From California, but I've been in Ohio now for about 4 years, trying to make it self-employed, and I just got back home. So, under really bad circumstances. We had a terrible fallout with our landlord in Ohio, and he took everything from us.
Me and my roommate, we started a business probably 5 years ago, was selling baby diapers. The economy didn't really affect the business. It was my spending habits, not being mindful, just spending money unwisely.
I had a medical injury where I was off of work for about 6 months, and I just fell behind in everything. The disability payments were barely enough to cover the mortgage, and so I was living off of credit cards and borrowing money from friends, and you know, it just snowballed into a difficult situation for me.
The most difficult point has been just wondering where would I go, you know, my animals and, you know, my furniture and my neighbors and all the things that I've grown accustomed to that will be gone if I lose my home, you know.
The sense of failure. I was in a FICO score of 800, and you know, it just went down. I've always been responsible and, you know, met all my obligations, and the inability to do that, compounded with the physical illness and the lack of empathy, you know, was emotional for me.
You know, we take so much for granted, and you know, before all this happened to me, I had a career and I was really living a nice lifestyle. I had everything, and my kids were spoiled. They had a lot of things, a lot of luxuries. We all did, and they're all gone now. And now we're living bare bones, and we don't spend money like we used to, obviously. So the kids, I mean, it's a good thing, I guess, for them. They're learning. Oh my gosh, not to take things for advantage anymore, and they're just seeing how a budget works and, you know, how much money we have for the week for the groceries and stuff like that. It's not that easy anymore, and they're seeing that. And I have a newborn, so I'm really worried about him, and I want to be able to provide for him and all that.
A lot of times, you know, we don't realize that young people look at what we're doing, even when they're learning how to spend money. And I think a lot of times they need the education that we didn't get when we were trying to get a loan, you know, for a house. See, they can actually fall into the same thing that we fell into if they don't learn the lessons we learned.
I would say that some of the habits I would change is being mindful of my finances. Not just spending and buying and living a superficial life, you know, because I was had to have the nice car, you know, and the best furniture and all these other things that really doesn't matter when you really look at things. It doesn't matter.
Oh yes, I wouldn't have got that second on my house. That's one thing I wouldn't have done, and I wouldn't have used my credit cards, just go out there and just go to the limit. You know, those are two things I would have changed. I wouldn't have got the home equity loan, and I wouldn't have went to the limit on my credit cards, $3,500, $4,500. that was a big mistake, and I would learn how to finance my money better.
You know, people say money gives you freedom. Okay, great. I'm sure it does, but when you try to get that money, try to accumulate that money or find a way to get that money, it enslaves you. And that's a different face, and you have to learn to deal with that. And I digress. Getting back to your question, I expect everybody to learn. I expect people to be more responsible and not spend money and live off credit cards, because it's going to come back and haunt you.
I see a lot of people, you know, around the room, and I think it's sad because, you know, I see people with kids, you know, so it's going to affect the children as well as themselves. I see elderly people that's probably been paying on a loan forever and think it's time for them to retire and don't have to worry about paying a loan. I see all types of people in here, and I just feel like we all been victimized, because if it happens to a few people, then you could probably say, well, maybe that was unfortunate. But when you find so many workshops all over town all the time, and you find that the president has to make announcements all the time about, you know, helping people, you know it's a big problem. I feel like a lot of people have been victimized when we should have been been able to trust the lender and the banks. We weren't able to do that. And when we thought we were getting help, we weren't getting that. When we thought we were being placed in a good mortgage, we weren't.
You know, everybody has a unique story why they got laid off or why they got evicted from their landlord, or all the circumstances are unique. But I still believe I have a responsibility, and they have a responsibility. All these people have a responsibility to go out there and look for work and not just sit on their couch and wait for the paperwork to come through, and to be here. And I think everybody that's here and everybody that's coming to these events, these fairs, and working with the banks just is one good way of showing that they're trying.
My recommendations would be to keep knocking on the door. I have had so many no's, and this is the first yes that I've received, and the first glimmer of hope that has given me the inspiration to keep going, you know, and every day is not a sunny day. You know, it's can you stand the rain? Can you keep marching through the rain? And yes, you can, you know. There's always hope. There's always opportunities. You just have to step up to the plate and knock on the doors.
If you stay at home or you're doing other things, you can't help yourself. At least you can come in here and talk to your lender, talk to the neighborhood housing services, and maybe they can help you. Maybe they can encourage you, or maybe they can just give you some information to help you, because they help in a lot of different ways. So I would encourage, you know, just to come in, because it won't hurt. The only thing it can do is help you.